Lucifer, devil turned cop. Where does the devil go for vacation when he decides to take a break from hell? Los Angeles, of course. And as much fun as drugs, women, and money are to Lucifer, he quickly switches gears to become a police informant. Lucifer is a must-see show because of its dramatic plot, unique perspective on the devil, and the positive display of morals. I'm a credible source because I've rewatched the show 3 times, and I'm not someone who enjoys rewatching shows, but the show is so well written that I always pick up new information every time I watch. In this speech, I will further explain the plot and characters of the TV show Lucifer, talk about the producer's take on the perspective of the devil, along with ratings, and then provide the context of how good morals are pushed throughout the entirety of the show and why I personally like the show. First, I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the character and plot of the show. The show begins with Lucifer Morningstar, the devil, stating that he has grown tiresome of hell. He decides he needs to take a break to Los Angeles, aka the City of Angels. During his time in LA, he opens up Lux, an exclusive nightclub that his hell servant Maze and him work at, which he brings people in and grants people's favors in order to, it makes him really popular. The reason he becomes a police informant is because there is a murder that takes place at his nightclub, and he decides he wants to get to the bottom of it. Detective Decker, right here, wants to come investigate, and Lucifer decides he's going to join on the case. After much protest from Decker, she agrees to let him be an informant because Lucifer has a power that allows him to pull out other people's desires. Typically, all the murders in the show are driven from a place of desire, so he's proven helpful in solving the murders. The basis of the show revolves around Decker and Lucifer solving crimes that occur. Lucifer has a lot of undealt with trauma, so he starts attending weekly therapy with the wonderful, my favorite character, Dr. Linda Martin. His siblings start appearing, such as Amenadiel right here, to try and drag him back to hell because that's his job, and Lucifer simply doesn't want to go. Lucifer starts to develop feelings for the detective and eventually reveals to her that he's quite literally the devil and he was not speaking in metaphors. Even though he's always been completely honest, no one ever took him seriously because why would you? Decker has a really long adjusting period because she did have feelings for Lucifer. The relationship is a roller coaster on and off and leaves off at season 5. Next, we're going to talk about the perspective of the devil and the traditional roles and conceptions we identify regarding Satan. The writers characterize Lucifer as a nice guy with daddy issues. The usual concept of the 7 layers of hell is not used. Instead, they portray hell as one's own guilt. If you are in hell, then you are stuck in a hell loop, which is just your deepest guilt lived on repeat. Lucifer usually gets upset with the traditional concepts of himself because of how misguided they are. Lucifer, he does not think of being the ruler of hell as something he enjoys, rather a punishment from his father. Lucifer does not look forward to torturing anyone, though he is an avid believer in getting proper justice. Lucifer's daddy issues come out in many different forms throughout the show. He talks about his parents like the same way a child would speak on bad divorce between parents. You can always see him trying to do things to intentionally aggravate God, as a teen might try to spite a father figure. And because the plot and interesting perspective of the devil, it makes sense that the ratings would be so high. The Rotten Tomatoes gave the TV show Lucifer a whopping 86%. And Natalie Xenos from Metro UK says it's 1 part fantasy, 1 part buddy cop comedy, and one of the best comic spinoffs on TV right now. Furthermore, IMDb rated Lucifer an 8.2 out of 10. Next, we're going to talk about the morals shown throughout the entirety of the show. Every single episode begins with, or has a new struggle for Lucifer to handle emotionally. He works with Dr. Linda, a licensed therapist, every week to work through emotions he doesn't understand. Because he works strictly like logically or irrationally, no in between. Lucifer going to therapy shows advocacy for men exploring emotions and getting mental health help. He also explores things such as impulse, forgiveness, empathy, grief, anger, abandonment, and even goes as far as couples therapy with Decker. A lot of character development comes from Lucifer. He starts out very selfish, childlike mindset, and then slowly grows throughout the show into a much more mature version of himself. The show really shows what not to do, along with the perspective and positive ways to handle emotions and difficult situations. I really enjoy the show because I love being able to see people watch characters develop into better people. I also love seeing mentally unhealthy people become mentally stable and grow into something better. I love the morals that are enforced through the entirety of the show because I think sometimes being shown healthy coping skills is very important. Sometimes TV is the only source to gain mental health help or knowledge for young viewers, so it's really helpful in that aspect. I'm also an avid crime show watcher, so crime show about the devil, right up my alley. Lucifer is a must-see show because of its dramatic plot and unique perspective on the devil and the positive display of emotions. The interesting plot and diverse characters and the unique twist the writers take, along with the devil's challenging traditional norms, along with the high ratings, prove how good of a show Lucifer is. And finally, the good morals show that younger viewers makes Lucifer an amazing show start to finish. Personally, I watch so many crime shows that it was refreshing to get a new view of a buddy cop show. Also, seeing Lucifer grow as a person is actually useful and actually become a useful police informant makes me feel good. I hope I didn't give too many spoilers away and still gave enough reason for you to watch the show. But most important, the reason to watch Lucifer is simply to see what the devil does on vacation. Thank you.